Okay, here we are with Chapter 5, Section 4. Again, as always, St. James heading, and you write then Chapter 5, Section 4 underneath. You write finding percents mentally. Okay, so this is where if you know certain percents as fractions, it's going to make your life a lot easier. Do you have to memorize them? No. You don't have to memorize them. But if you do have some things committed to memory, when you take the Terra Novas or when you take the entrance exams for high school, you would be a lot faster. Is it mandatory? No, it just will make you faster, that's all. So here are some common percent to fractions equivalencies, okay? So I wrote them all here. They're pretty common that we use. Obviously, 10%, if you write it as a fraction, is 1 over 10. With the computer, I couldn't really write it this way. It's 1 over 10, okay? So, and then 12 and 1/2%, well, that's 1 over 8 as a fraction. Okay, um, the ones that we will see a lot, especially with homework problems, are things like your 20% as 1/5, your 25% as 1 over 4, all of these, like 50% is 1/2, okay? But write all of these down because what's going to happen is your workbook is going to refer to a lot of these fractions that you could easily use instead of doing the whole um, proportion setup. Some of it will be a lot easier if you just know them mentally. So, and then one that's pretty silly, but and it's kind of common sense. 100% is 100 over 100, which really equals, 1. 100 over 100. Okay, so just take a look at these fractions, percents to fractions, write them down in your copybook just so you have them for your workbook problems for next class. So write these down, pause the video if you need to, but write them down, okay? And then you'll have them for the workbook problems. So here, for example, we have, let's say we want to compute this mentally, 25% of 32. Okay, and they want you to do this in your head, but I'm going to show you what that means, what they're expecting you to do in your head. I can't I can't show you what I'm doing in my head without showing you. So I'm going to show you. 25%, if you look back at our list there that you wrote down, the fraction is 1/4. So if you, of means multiply, so you do 1/4 times 32. Well, of course, put that over 1. If you do this mentally in your head, you cancel this out, you cancel that out. So basically equals 9. They're expecting you to do that in your head. So this is the one section, probably for the year, that you won't actually have to show this. This work right here, you don't actually have to show. They're expecting you just to write 9 as your answer. Or 8, not 9, sorry. Whoops, sorry, just had a moment. 8. It's an 8. They they're expecting you to do that all mentally. Now, the only tricky part is if you get it wrong, then I won't be able to help you see what you got or where you went wrong. You'll have to talk me through what you did so that way I can say, oh, well, then you just multiplied wrong, or oh, that was the wrong fraction, or whatever. But they're expecting all that mentally. Okay, let's try another one. Again, I'm going to do it out so that you get the habit of seeing what you're going to do in your head. Okay, so 85% of 45. Again, 80%, if you write it as a fraction, again, feel free to look at that list, and it's 8 over 10, okay? Or simplify it even easier, 4/5, 4 over 5, okay? Of means multiply, 45, okay? Of means multiply, so put it over 1, cancels out, cancels out. So that answer is 36. And again, they're really expecting you just to have 36. I'm showing you the methods that you could do in your head. Again, they're expecting you to do all that in your head. I just wanted to show you so that you know what to do. Again, you can do it in your head and just write down 36 or whatever the answer may be. Let's try 50%. This might seem like a silly one. 50% of 120. Yeah, it is a silly one. 50% is, 1/2. You ate 50% of the pizza. That means you ate 1/2 of your pizza. So half of 120, put it over 1, cancel things out, cancel things out. Okay, so you get 60. Okay, 50% of 120 is 60. Okay, all this is just mental stuff. Okay, let's try another one. um, let's do 10% of 350. Okay, again, 10% is 1 over 10. Of means multiply, 350. Okay, cancel this out, cancel this out. Okay, you get 35. That's it. All right, let's try one of those tricky ones that maybe we're not as familiar with the fractions. If I have 12 and 1/2% of 64. Okay, that fraction for 12 and 1/2% is 1 over 8. Again, you look at that list. So 1 over 8 of 64. Put it over 1. Cancel things out. Make your life easy. The answer is 8. So if you know the fraction, it's actually going to be a lot faster you to write the fraction, simplify in your head, and solve before you put any of it in the calculator. This is where calculators might actually slow you down and not make you faster. Just as a thought. Let's try one more. 62 and 1/2% of 160. Again, this looks super complicated, but if you know the fraction for 62.5% as 5 over 8, okay, and ironically, I have the percent fraction equivalent poster on my wall in my classroom, so you could always look at that if you need help. So 5/8 times 1 over 160, put it over 1. Okay, cancel things out. That becomes 20. So 5 times 20, okay, is 100. So again, that means 62.5% of 160 is 100. Okay, that's it. Not hard, not complicated, as long as you have those list of percents to fractions. Make sure you go back and get that list because you will need it for the workbook page tomorrow or or next class, whenever that is. Okay, so the problem we have for class tomorrow is this. So mentally, what is 60% of 15? Okay, well, that's really long. Okay, see you next class.